nonfiction book the other day, and I came across this passage about this guy who heard a strange noise in the barn. He goes into the barn, and he sees a silhouette of a little boy. So he's about to ask him if he's okay. But then he realizes that the little boy is actually like cutting and eating a cat, which is really weird. So he backs off, and then he realizes that it was just a dream, luckily. So dreams can be kind of scary like that sometimes, but it's also like an interesting experience. And lucid dreaming is even cooler because that's when like your body is asleep and your mind is awake. So basically you know that you're dreaming and you can interact with your dream. I've been trying to do it for the past year or so, and I was able to do it at least two or three times. And it's really hard to do, so it takes a lot of practice. So I've done a lot of research on it to make sure that I know what I'm doing. I found that there are three main ways: mnemonic induction, sleeping masks, and also found tips to help make it easier. So since we are beginners, we're going to start with mnemonic inductions. Dr. Larberg, which is a head researcher in the lucid dreaming world, he saw that it's actually called mild lucid is another name for it. And the easy steps is basically all you have to do is make sure you go to bed 2 hours earlier, and then when you wake up, you keep a dream journal and you write down what you dreamed about. And then you stay up for another hour to make sure your mind is awake. And so the last hour, when you go back to sleep, you imagine that you're in the dream that you just had. So like the one that you wrote down in your journal, you imagine it. And what it does is like, it kind of helps you realize that you're dreaming a lot easier. Now, along with the basic technique, there's also cool tools and the sleeping masks. Dr. Ryan Hard, he's a board member of the International Association of Dreaming. Neuron is what the name of the mask is, and it has EEG and EGO basis. And what they do is they monitor eye movements and brain activity. So when your eyes move rapidly, it means that you're going into REM sleep. So the mask detects it, and when it does, it starts having like flashing lights and small audio sounds. The reason why it does this is because you know how regular alarm clocks are like super loud and it wakes up your body because it puts in shock. But the lights and the audio is so subtle that it kind of like keeps your body still asleep, but it kind of activates your brain a little bit more. It makes it easier to lucid dream. Now that you know like certain aspects of it, we can discuss ways to make it easier. There's a book called The New Science of Dreaming, and it also describes how it's easier to lucid dream during morning naps. And that it kind of goes back to mnemonic induction. When your brain is like more active and more awake, it's just easier to tell that you're dreaming. There are also things, dream signs, and there's kind of like two types of dream signs. The first one is when you see certain objects, or you see certain people, or events that reoccur over and over and you notice it. Then if you see it again, it's like an idea, hey, you're dreaming. The other one is if you see strange things. Like you see people that are already dead, or electronics that are malfunctioning, or like dogs with like green spots or whatever, then yeah, you're probably dreaming again. So in conclusion, I think that dreaming is a pretty exciting experience, and with lucid dreaming, you get to like explore your own mind, and it's really easy. It's not too bad. If you practice it, it'll get easier through like mnemonic inductions, masks, dream signs. And I think it's really beneficial because you get to kind of have the outer body experiences, and like that's cool. And so I know it's something that I'm going to enjoy for the rest of my life.